Hello, my name is Brian Smith and welcome to my office. You can watch this seminar as a YouTube video or as a podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. There's also a published article that was published in PME and there's a link to that in the notes. My seminar is about the life sciences industry, so pharma, medtech, diagnostics, which is an industry that I've worked in for 40 years now as an academic researcher, but also as a scientist and an executive. I study the evolution of business models and strategy, and my aim is to give you a new way to think about your business. So if I manage to do that, then please like or subscribe and share this with your colleagues. And if you want to know more, then please get in touch and we can have a chat over coffee, either virtual or real. Now, because I study evolution, I often find parallels between the natural world and our industry. But these parallels aren't mere coincidences. They happen because both natural environments and the life sciences industry are both complex adaptive systems. So they can both be explained by the same science, Darwinian evolutionary science. So let me share one of those parallels with you today that I think is very important in practice, and not just for your company, but also for your individual career. I recently made a study of firms' strategic planning processes, which included interviewing about 50 of their senior and middle level executives. When I reported back to the firm's leader, I told her that her teams had deeply embedded habits of procrastination. They spent all day talking about how to get their buy-in and alignment, but the result was that important decisions were deferred until usually it was too late. Interestingly, this didn't surprise the leader at all. And the only consolation I was able to give was that many of the other life science companies I study suffer the same sort of condition. Of course, my research also studies why firms are like this. And what I see is that there are two issues that amplify each other in a kind of negative feedback loop. The first of those issues is an obsession with flat structures and avoiding hierarchy. In those cultures, words like subordinate and boss are discouraged and they're replaced with colleague and co-worker. And you find that the idea that someone might be superior to someone else or with greater authority is considered almost distasteful. The second issue is shared ownership. Now, in these cultures, nothing's ever considered a solo achievement. So even when individuals achieve great things, the culture expects them to be humble and to share the credit. Now, together, these two factors reinforce each other and they create a habit that academics call decision offloading. So in companies like this, you hardly ever see an individual executive making a decisive choice. What you see instead is that they offload decisions. And this takes both longer and it often leads to slow and compromised decisions, when what is really needed is a timely and definitive choice. Now, you might be wondering what's the biological parallel to decision offloading, but there is, and its implications are really very worrying for both your company and for you personally. You see, evolutionary anthropologists have discovered that over the last few thousand years, human brains seem to have shrunk significantly. Now, the scientists who discovered this looked at explanations like diet and body mass and other things, but they concluded that the reason was something that they call cognitive offloading. You see, this shrinking roughly coincides with the development of advanced societies. Living in a civilized society rather than as a hunter-gatherer seems to favour having smaller brains. These researchers argue that brains are metabolically expensive. They take a lot of energy. So evolution shapes brains so that they are no bigger than necessary. And as we evolved from our hominid ancestors through hunter-gatherers, bigger brains gave us an evolutionary advantage. But then along came civilization and complex societies, and with them the ability to offload some of our thinking and decision-making to the rest of society. In simple terms, hunter-gatherers have to make more choices than someone who's living in a structured society. And faced with a smaller cognitive workload, evolution cut down on any unnecessary and expensive grey matter. Can you see the parallels between biology and business? If you work in a company where it's unnecessary to make decisions, your ability to make decisions will wither, will waste away. Your brains may not literally shrink, but your ability to make good decisions will decline because, in effect, decision making has been offloaded onto the organisation. So just like sitting at a desk all day will cause your muscles to waste away, your flat, non-hierarchical organisation may cause your decision-making powers to waste away. This cognitive offloading has very important practical implications for leaders in the life sciences industry and for the people who work for them. If you build a flat organisation, you risk creating a procrastinating, indecisive business. And if you work in an organisation that's all about buy-in and alignment, your own decision-making capabilities will waste away. That's something for us all to think about, isn't it? So thanks for joining my seminar. If you found it worth your time, then please like it and subscribe and share with your colleagues. If you'd like to read my article about decision offloading in pharma and medtech companies, then please get in touch and I'll send you the PDF. If you'd like to browse any of the other 300 articles, papers and books that I've written about our industry, then take a look at my website, which is in the links below. And if you'd like to talk about how my research can help you to improve your competitive capabilities, then again, get in touch and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.